Can you believe it? The Warriors finally blow a team out after a goddamn month, man. Ah, man. Kuminga continued to thrive in his starting role. Chris Paul looked about as good as ever. He was commanding the game off the bench and just doing a lot of great stuff, even without, scoring, which is exactly what he was brought for. And, of course, Trayce Jackson-Davis continued to get minutes and looking great. We saw Trayce and Dario lineups with Chris Paul. They looked great. And we even had the two-way guys make an appearance, man. Just an all-around great game and atmosphere around it today with, of course, Jordan Poole and his return to the Bay. And it was heartwarming seeing all the good vibes and everything around Jordan today because, well, we know how it ended. We know what happened between him and Draymond. But now that Draymond was suspended, it was all love, man. It was all love, nothing awkward about it. It was just all love, and that's what it's all about. It was great to see. And, for the first 2.5 quarters, it felt like Steph and Poole were going to go at it for the whole game. But, well, Steph was more efficient and was going crazy in the third quarter. And essentially since the end of the second half or second quarter, my bad. And Jordan Poole was kinda inefficient, except for the start of the third quarter. Still got his 25 points, even though he was not efficient at all. But it was fun to see them go back and forth a bit. And, Jordan Poole was taking some crazy shots in the first half, man. And, of course, Steph just went crazy in the second half. And, like I said, since the second half of the second quarter, he went crazy. And in the third quarter, he just put the cherry on top. And Warriors just played great. Despite starting cold, they were down 15-7, I'm pretty sure, early on with Steph and Clay missing some good shots, some solid, good open shots. But once again, Kevon Looney out there for no good reason, really. He was just of no use defending the pick and rolls they were running for Daniel Gafford and had no impact around them. And offensively, he essentially just mucks up space for the shooters like Steph and Clay, which gives them a little less time to operate. And it really pains me to say that, man. But we all are seeing what is happening with Looney. And thankfully, Trayce Jackson-Davis is out there to pick him up. Looney just had to play 11 minutes. And in the second half, for those 7 minutes he played in that second half, he actually looked better, which was great to see. And, of course, like I said, once Trayce Jackson-Davis entered the game when we were down 15-7, the game completely changed. He was sensational. He is just such a good fit with them, right? He contests at the rim really well. He's a really good rebounder. He has 15 rebounds today. He has that 4-year college experience, so he doesn't get fazed by it. He knows how to box out. He knows how to, deny the post positions. He covers the pick and roll really well. He moves within the pick and rolls really well and is clearly a smart defender. And he's also a capable switcher from time to time. It's not like you want him to do that, but he is capable of that. And once he entered the game, the Wizards' pick and rolls were not as efficient. Every shot at the rim was way tougher. And he was just sensational. There's not much more else to say that he just feels right. And he was even great on the offensive rebounds. He had 5 offensive rebounds, had some putbacks, and the amount of lobs we have seen in this game was about as much as I've seen since the JaVale McGee days for the Warriors. So that's great. And it also opens up the space to play Dario Saric a little less minutes, but in his preferred position. He played 20 minutes tonight, and he played a lot of those next to Trayce Jackson-Davis at the 4 spot, aka the stretch 4, aka the power forward position. And even though he did not shoot the ball well, he had better matchups for himself where he was able to attack off the dribble and was, spacing the floor for others, which of course opened up the pick and rolls for Chris Paul and Trayce Jackson-Davis, opened up the lanes for Kuminga, for Podziemski, opened up better shots for Klay Thompson. So that feels like a good fit, and shout out to Golden State of Might. Once again had a good article about that, and that those minutes with Saric and Trayce together are in 55 minutes plus 35 or something like that. They're really efficient, let's just put it that way. And it's looking great, man. Like I said, Chris Paul completely dominated the game. How do I say it? Orchestrating-wise, he was orchestrating the offense so well and was playing really well defensively. Had 10 assists to just 1 turnover, which was just a rough miscommunications to end the half with Moody, who had probably his worst game of the season, but thankfully it did not matter today. And the floor is just way more spaced out when we are mixing the lineups like this. The only lineup I did not like was that Steph, Podziemski, Corey Joseph, and I don't know who else was there with them, but it was those three together. That was just weird, especially with the way Kuminga was playing in the first half. I thought you should have played him more, but we are of course on a back-to-back, so you want those legs to be fresh tomorrow. And let's talk about Kuminga now. Making all the right plays, not being thirsty to score. He's picking his spots so much better. He's just a bully ball machine. He clearly is even screening better. And the more he plays, the more comfortable he looks, the more smarter he looks. I don't know how I'll say it, he just, the feel just is great about Kuminga right now. Even though he had just 4 rebounds, he had 22 points on 9 of 11 shooting, 3 assists. Could have had more. He was really good distributing the ball, really. He had some really good passes, and some of those passes that were the little extra passes that make the Warriors coaching staff go like, that's what we want from you. He passed up a 3-pointer to pass it to Clay, which was great. And it's just great to see him with Steph and Clay thrive, man. He's perfect next to them. He is such a good pick and roll partner. He, of course, can cut really well. And he is able to use their spacing to get those mismatches on the block and post up and just go bully ball on someone. So that has been so well and so great. And he does not want to give up that starter spot whenever Draymond returns. And I even forgot to mention that Wiggins was sick today. He was ill and did not play today, and it literally did not matter. And it kind of opened up the space for Moody to play more. Unfortunately, he did not answer the bell as much as I thought he would. But still, at least, but he was not bad by any means necessary. Just not, maybe he was a little bad, but he was just not as good as he's usually been when he's out there. And yeah, with Kuminga, everything's looking up. He didn't even need to play in the fourth quarter, really. Steve Kerr set him down because, hey, he's with the starters. He needs rest to go tomorrow against another young athletic team in the Portland Trailblazers, which has given us problems in both these matchups during this past month or so. And last but not least, let's just give more praise to Trace, man. 10 and 15, 3 assists also, 1 block, 5 of 7 from the field. He was sensational out there. And he's so good, man. He's just so good. Steph had 8 3-pointers, and when you look at the records, with 8 plus 3-pointer games, he literally has the same amount as the next 3 behind him together, which is just insane. And Clay had a 20-point game again. He started off cold, like I said, but stayed well within the offense, was efficient, 4 of 10 from the 3-point line, got hot in the fourth at the start of it, and he has a good rapport with Kuminga, like I said. Kuminga's been passing to him really well, and it feels like these two are building some type of chemistry together. And Clay, simply since the benching in Phoenix, has more energy in his legs for whatever reason, which is great. And quickly, Podziemski, I barely talked about him. He was a plus 16 on the night, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 3 of 9, but he played 29 minutes, looked still really good, was one of his least eye-popping games, and it felt like he was not as good as usually, but still, the stats were great, which, just tells you everything you need to know about him. And he always will make some really good plays nonetheless, if his shot is falling or not. So, great vibes all around. Portland tonight on a back-to-back. We were able to rest, of course, Steph in the fourth quarter, which is great. And all the good vibes, man. 4-game win streak. Hopefully, we can extend it to 5, get over 500. And then we have the Christmas showdown in Denver. Great vibes since the Draymond suspension, man. Funny enough. And as always, be kind to yourself and to others. And love and be, baby.